Hello everybody and welcome back to the West Coast. Due to popular demand, I have gone back to some farming stuff instead of the mining, just for the time being. It's easy to sort of lose track of where you're going with the videos if you start to do different things, because for example with the mining, I love doing it, so I just sort of get carried away and keep making different videos of it, sort of forgetting about the farming. So what I'm going to do is try and balance it off. We'll probably have 2/3 farming, 1/3 mining or other stuff. PGR Brusda is going to turn into a multiplayer series in the future, so there's going to be no more single player of that. And the schedule has actually disappeared. I have finished with that until the release of the Platinum Edition, when I'll be obviously doing a Let's Play on the brand new map with the new machinery. So yeah, just for the next month or so, we're going to be doing a random schedule where we're going to do the West Coast, possibly Upton Farm, although I'm considering turning Upton Farm into a cinematic series. So basically there'll be no talking. It'll be done in real time, not a time-lapse series, but there'll still be music over the top, and yeah, it should be some dramatic screenshots and obviously camera shots, I should say. So obviously before I do that, I would appreciate anybody's comments regarding a cinematic series. I don't think it would be instead of a video a day, it would be as well as, so there'd be 2 videos on the day when there is the cinematic, so you wouldn't be missing out on any kind of Let's Play. It's just another way of doing these videos, and honestly I have wanted to do cinematics for a while. It is how I started the channel after all, so they can't be that unpopular, can they? Maybe they can. But yeah, that's just something which I've considered. So there's going to be the West Coast, and of course there's going to be multiplayer and a bit of mining. So, oh, no, didn't want to go in that. Yeah, so we're back at the main yard today. We're going to be doing a full day at times 15, so 5 in the morning-ish, which it currently is, until maybe 8 o'clock at night, that sort of thing. And yeah, in case you haven't realised already, we have a different tractor today. This has indeed replaced the Kubota. Just a bit tired of reading the comments about the Kubota, so I've decided just to get rid of it, and hopefully this will cheer a lot of people up. Now this tractor isn't that big at all, however, it's still perfect for what we need. We've got the John Deere, which is our high horsepower tractor. We've also got the Voucher, which will be changed next year, and now we've got this as well. So I think that's going to be perfect. This is going to be the one for the livestock, and it has the front loader bracket. We've kept the front loader from the Kubota, so that is all fine. Anyway, yeah, what we're going to do is hope that the rain's going to stop soon, and then we're going to go and do some spraying just very quickly. It won't take us too long at all. And then we're going to move on to a different job. In fact, is it stopping? I think it may be stopping. Very, very soon. Anyway, oh no, I've left the door open in the rain. It has stopped. That is very good timing. So, we don't have much money, if any. So we really do need to prioritise getting some money in. Now we've got the silage bales, which obviously, yeah, I couldn't sell. They are fermenting at the moment, and apparently the best place to sell them is over at the cows, over at the cow bale trigger point thing in their feed trough. So that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to go back up there again, but that's nothing really, we'll be fine. The other thing is, thank you to everybody who mentioned where the sort of cutting the bale mod came from. That is the mod which was in the mod contest. The, I don't know the pronunciation. Go well. I'm not sure. But basically, the very creative baler, which allows you to wrap pretty much anything, from poo to straw. Of course, I did the poo wrapping. No real reason for it. It's just it was something different. That was over on Ballymoon Castle. So yeah. I think what you have to do is enable it to be able to use it, but I'm not really too bothered. If we can sell the silage bales in the trigger over at the cows, then that is all fine. I'll lift this up a bit. There we go. And a lovely sunny day follows the early morning rain. We'll have to try and find another way of making money as well, not just from the crops obviously. We do have the sheep, so that is a good starting point, but the problem with the sheep is you need to have quite a lot to be able to do well out of them. So As soon as we get the money, we're going to pay off the loan, because the loan is creating interest, which we really don't want to be dealing with at all. I think we do have some crops in storage, so they can be sold straight away, probably today after this. And of course we do need to get some hay bales as well. This was mentioned in the previous episode because we do need to have a supply of food for the sheep, but we've got the grass, and basically the grass isn't really suitable unless you're going to cut it straight away. You can get a grass storage point, but it's another expense, and I don't know how realistic that would be, because grass ferments, it just does. Otherwise it's silage, so yeah, I don't know. I think hay bales are going to be the most sensible option. It probably won't be today, just because we've done quite a bit of grass work and baling work recently, but we can't keep putting it off. So if maybe I'll squeeze it in at the end, we might be able to have the mower and the windrower going at the same time, and we can at least get some of the grass cut. But yeah, we'll just see what we do today. I mean, I don't tend to plan these videos that much, obviously when I'm working all day anyway. I don't really have time. Obviously I can think about it at some point in the day, like what can I do later today in the video, but yeah, I mean, I don't really have the time to be thinking of that all the time. So as much as I love doing these videos, planning is, well, not something I do an awful lot of, just because of the amount of time I don't get, basically. Oh, what? Hang on. I can't tell where we've been. We need GPS, don't we? I really can't tell. Let me just check this map. I would like to see if this is fully fertilised already. No, but that is the second coating, I think it is, yeah. This one here, second coating. We've done the second coating on here too. So yeah, we'll just keep going. As I've said before in a video a few weeks ago, it doesn't really matter if we miss the slightest bit. Obviously it will affect the amount we get slightly, but it's nothing. It's not really going to add up at all. I'm all about maximising yields and everything, but I can't be obsessed with that. So yeah, we'll just do the best that we can do. That's all we really ask. So this video is dedicated to all the people who absolutely love the farming aspect of Farming Simulator, but aren't really too keen on the sort of diversifying videos which I've done, where you do different stuff such as noodles, mining, concrete, that kind of stuff. So this is really just, I suppose you could say, reminding you of the old Daggerwin, as some people have called it. Yesterday's video, for example, actually was a little bit and well, I anticipated it. I anticipated the comments for that video because it was snow clearance, and there's only so much you can do for snow clearance. You either clear it or you don't. So it was bound to get repetitive to those who didn't want to watch it. So yeah, for those who wanted to see the farming, this is a good reminder of what we do on the farming Daggerwin side of the channel, which has not gone. For some people, you seem to be under the impression that I have finished with the farming, but no, this is still going to be the main part of the channel. So yep, there's going to be diversified videos, but also most of the time it will be farming, so don't worry, you don't need to. Anyway, I'm going to finish off here. Don't think we need to see the rest of it, and we can then move on to the next job. Okay then, so this should be the final piece of the field. Now we can see how much I've actually missed. Okay, so yeah, there is a piece here, but I mean, on the whole, it's fine. It's good enough. And besides, we'll be doing this again to get the third layer. We also do need to do for number 10 actually, but I won't do it today. We do have, how many days do we have left? How do we open up the forecast? There we go. We have effectively 2 or 3 days left to be able to spray. Actually, I think we can spray through the autumn as well, actually, because we have to harvest in the autumn before winter. But that doesn't mean we can't spray, for example, on the Sunday and then harvest on the Monday. So yeah, that's fine. We've got loads of time. Let me just fold it all up. And what we're going to do is obviously part this tractor up. As mentioned, when we get the self-propelled sprayer, we'll be able to sell this Kubota Tractor which I am only pleased about for the simple fact that we'll be able to pull out of junctions without sort of feeling like we're going to pull in front of a car, since that monitor really blocks our view, but we seem to be okay at the moment. So yeah, I mean, we can't sell a tractor just because of that, but safety is quite a concern. So that's the only reason, really. If there is another version of this tractor without the monitor in the window, then I would get it. It does seem a bit extreme to get rid of a tractor just because of that, but it's, well, it really is a safety issue. Right, so, nice yellow fields just there. The oilseed rape is doing very well. I'll put this in here, because then we don't have to walk back to the tractor. Brilliant. Okay. By the way, this is by ARM Modding, if you're interested. It's available on ModHub, so I'll put the link below, and you can download it if you want to. Are there any... No, there's no interactive control, I don't think. No, but it's still good. I mean, it looks to be heavily based off the base game tractor anyway. The cab and everything all looks to be the same. But still nice. The TS115. So, let me just open up our page once again, and we should be able to see exactly what we have in storage. So, as we don't have any pigs, we don't actually require any of these crops at all. We might as well just sell them when there is a great demand. As you can see, there is a great demand currently on the wheat. I don't know how long it's going to last for, so I probably, although this is a bit unrealistic, I probably should... actually, how is that unrealistic? We're putting it back to real time. It's kind of, yeah, getting around it though. Getting around the great demand to finish, so we should pretty much be able to guarantee that it's still going to be there. The manual attach will have to get back. I had to disable it because of the Kubota, but as that's gone, I should be able to just switch it back on. So let's fill up first of all with the wheat. It's going to be a very small amount, but as the price is so good, we might as well make the most of it. Yeah, that's not very good reversing, is it? I think I should probably reattempt that. There we go. It should take seconds to fill. There we go. And where was it? Little Woolhope Farm. Right, I'm going to have a look and see where that is. It shouldn't be too hard. There it is, one flashing just here. So it's over at Little Woolhope Farm. That makes sense, yes. Right, okay. So how do we get there? We need to go down here. So effectively, instead of going straight on out the village into the wool farm here, we need to go across and then down to here. Seems simple enough. Let's see if I can master it. Although we may be coming from a different direction actually. I don't like to just take 21% in the trailer, but as the price is there and we have it in storage, we might as well just sell it. It would seem a bit ridiculous not to take the great demand and then sell it when the demand is much lower. Actually going this way is going to be much faster, so yeah, it's going to save some time. We really can guarantee the best price, unless I was unlucky enough to slow down time with just a minute or so to go, which is unlikely but possible. Right, here is our very first junction to contend with, and we need to be going right out of here. And here is the first hill to contend with as well. So I think we've got about 115 horsepower if I'm going by the model number. And actually, in the screenshot on ModHub, this tractor was powering a baler, so it must have quite a bit of power. I could always tweak the files as well. If it just seems like it is lacking it, then I could always just give it a boost over in the XML file. But nothing stupid. Obviously it has to be almost similar. Oh wait, which way should we have gone there? I think we should have turned left. It's going to take a very long time to know this map off the back of my hand. I know the top half of it, but not the lower half. So if it was the Mountain View Farm or Little Ridge... Oh, come on. Hill Ridge. Little Ridge, yeah. Good one, Daggerwin. Yeah. Hill Ridge, that area, except for the names, I know pretty well. So there should be a turning here. The stupidest thing is it's all signed, so it's just my stupidity. It seems interesting this, that there is a sell point up here, because it's actually, as far as I'm aware, one of our main farms. So yeah, this is going to be quite interesting to see. There is actually a bale sell point here too. Ah, there is a bale sell point here. Well, that is useful. We're going to be using that. That can be where we take the silage bales to then. I was looking for it. It's over there, the place we need to go to. So this is, let me just jump out the tractor. This is a very interesting place. We've obviously been here before on the very first look video, but you can't really appreciate stuff in a first look video. You have to come back here and have a good look. It's the place with every requirement. I mean, every need that we ever need. Yeah, lots of needs. They're all here. We have all of our seed, all of our fertilizer. Everything. We even have some timber, if we need it, which we may do. Water, some cows, a few static cows. The static objects in this map are obviously just for show. I know some people were asking about them. That's interesting. Can you pick the gate up with the telehandler? Because it's sort of acting like you can do. It's just too heavy for us by hand. Workshop here. And yeah, silage pits, which is where we can bring silage to. Oh, just talking about silage, our pit of chaff has now fermented, so that's all very good. We can either sell it or use it. I think we're going to sell it though. Right, so that's a shed. Yeah, so that is a summary of this yard. Quite interesting to see again. And yeah, the place where we need to sell all of this is just back here, I think. Somewhere. Here. Is that it? Yes. Interesting. We have to open it up by hand. So here we are. Let's get it tipped into here. A nice handy area to pull into. Watch the money. There we go. It's going to be a small amount, but still good for what it was. Yeah, £3,418 for 21% of a trailer. I'm never going to complain at that price. That's very good for wheat. So before I crash into everything, what we need to do is obviously close the hopper door, and then we can go back. This tractor is obviously meant for the sheep farm, so I mean we could drop it off there and then bring back the Ford Transit over to the other farm. It's just I'm not really too sure what we're going to be doing next. It's hard to say. It would be nice to do some forestry at some point, just to get some logs to sell. Nothing like selling a bit of firewood. But we're sort of in that transition mode now where we're just waiting for the crops to be ready. We could keep doing spraying. I think what we're going to do is spray once every episode. And then yeah, the rest of the time we can just sort of find a job to do. The sheep probably do need to be tended to again. They are quite, yeah, needy when it comes to water. Not so much with the food. But yeah, I suppose we could do some mowing. So, back up to this farm, I will just take it back to the main yard, I think. I'm calling it the main yard, I don't think it's supposed to be. But Hill Ridge is where I'm just going to put everything. And our secondary farm is obviously the River Rock farm, as that's where our sheep are. We don't have any cows, we don't have any pigs, so yeah, we can't really treat them as the main yards. Anyway, yep, let's just go back there. And, oh, time has stood still. I'll put it at time 60 to compensate. We're going to need the John Deere tractor, since that is the one with the horsepower, and when we're mowing on a hill, it really does require quite a bit of oomph behind it, which the John Deere can offer, but I don't think either of the other two tractors can. Obviously the Valtra is set up on row crop tyres, so we can't really be using that, and this one wouldn't really have the power anyway, so yeah, it's not really suitable. It's just for yard work. Can go here in the workshop. It requires an oil change and stuff, so yeah, you go in there. The mechanic can work on it. That door does shut, I'm sure it does. There we go. And yeah, go around the corner to the John Deere. Put the time back to 30. Otherwise there's going to be no time left. Technically that should have just... yeah. Sometimes it doesn't like to do the animated getting in and out. I don't know why. But if we drop this baler off just in the shed, then at least it can stay dry. It's already got soaked this morning. Okay, just had a power cut, but luckily my uninterruptible power supply managed to keep the computer on, which was brilliant. But the weird thing is, it sort of was grating and grinding. In fact, I may even have the recording of when it did it, because, yeah, I was recording at the time. So, if I can, I'll try and play it. Weird. I don't think it's smoking. That would be concerning as well. But yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to do that. Strange. We always get these weird sort of 3-second power cuts. They're so annoying. And before I had the uninterruptible power supply, it was just chaos, because every single time I was recording, well, not every single time, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but you know, maybe once every fortnight, we'd have one of these 3-second power cuts, and oh, it would be such a pain, because if I forgot to save, I'd be right back to the beginning, and I'd have to re-record so much of the video. Well, not necessarily re-record, but one thing I would have to do is obviously cover my tracks again and do it all again. So yeah, there's a lot to be said for these things, but yeah, I'm just a bit concerned about why it was sort of grating and grinding. Still, it did its job, just about. I thought it hadn't done, but it did. So that's good stuff. Oh, come on, I hate reversing this thing. It's got a rear wheel steer on the rake, and yeah, you need to be a bit skilled at it, really. But there we go, it's in. Now what we can do is get the mowers and we can fit them onto the front and the back. I really need to put manual attach back on. And yeah, we can go and cut, I think it's for number 81. Yep, 81. The another annoying thing is we've actually cut every field and they've barely grown back yet. I do also have the autosave mod going, so yeah, if the worst comes to the worst, it wouldn't have been that bad. But I don't know when the autosave mod first came in. Obviously, I'm referring to the days of FS15 when I used to get these power cuts, because I've had the UPS, which is the uninterruptible power supply, for a while, probably since Christmas time. And actually, to be fair, there hasn't been a power cut while I've been recording until 2 weeks ago. All the way from Christmas until 2 weeks ago, no power cut when recording, and now there's been 2 in 2 weeks, so that's weird. Anyway, as long as it doesn't do it again, we'll be fine. So if I can just try and figure out the way to the yeah, I know where to go. Good. If we continue down here, we should get to Riverton on Sea, continue through Riverton on Sea, keep going until you get to a turning right, take the first right, and then continue up there until you take the first left, and then you get to the farm. I'm now going to follow the instructions I just told you, and we'll see if we actually get there, or if we end up in a completely different country, which I suppose is possible, as you can go between England and Wales on this particular map. So yes, interesting stuff. Mind the pedestrians. 30 miles per hour is what we should be doing through here. Well, 25 actually. 25 for tractors in the UK, I believe. It was recently put up from 20. Yeah, if I'd followed my instructions, we would have gone somewhere weird. There was no turning right. You continue on the same road, and then you turn left. So, yeah, pleased I didn't follow them. Just thinking off the top of my head. But here we are. This is the field we need to go to. Better indicate, I suppose. And what we can do is begin to mow it. Now, in the previous episode, there was a small amount of grass. Now, it does tend to grow every single day in season, so hopefully today there is going to be I suppose half the length that you'd usually cut it at least. It does add up, so we should have enough for some decent hay bales. But without seeing it first, it's going to be quite tough to know. And I suppose actually we should go and take those bales over there to the sell point over at the Red Farm. Little Woolhope. How are we doing? Yeah, it's not impressive, is it? But we'll get something out of it. So if we just unfold all of this, as soon as autumn comes, there'll be no more mowing. We'll be so busy with harvest and getting things replanted for the next year that all of these common jobs that we do now, they'll have gone for a long time. We've got to get through winter as well. And in fact, that reminds me, I think what we should do is get a snowplow. I can sort a snowplow out, so if we can get one for a tractor's front loader, that would be ideal. We could do some pretty decent ploughing, and it would be obviously still within the realistic series, so I shouldn't get any comments saying, can you remember the days when Daggerwin used to do farming simulator and not other stuff? Having said that, I've got quite a lineup of different games which I'm going to be doing within the next month. There's so many different games coming out. For example, providing the dates don't change, on the 13th of October we have got Gold Rush the game. Now I don't know if you've seen the demo gameplay I've done of that. I did it a few, about a month or two ago. And yeah, the full game should be coming out, so I'm going to be doing hopefully a series on there. We then have the 20th of October, and that is Real Farm. So yeah, obviously depending on how good or bad it is, we'll be doing a series on there hopefully. And the thing which I like about it is it's in different countries, different areas and stuff. I don't think it's going to be quite as good as pure farming, which seems to really have lots of different crops and stuff. But either way, it looks quite an interesting game, so we'll give it a go at least. Certainly do a first look video. And then what do we have? 31st, Halloween, yeah. Halloween we've got Spin Tyres Mud Runner, which is basically a brand new version of Spin Tyres. So I'll be doing that. That'll be a series which I have running. It's going to be so busy in the next month. Obviously there'll be Farming Simulator in between. I can't guarantee there'll be Farming Simulator every day, but certainly quite a lot of the week. And then there is, well, obviously can't forget Platinum Edition for Farming Simulator, 14th of November. And then there is another game called Demolish and Build 2018, but I don't think that's got a date set for it yet. And of course, if you go on Steam and look at the upcoming simulation games, you will see that there are absolutely loads of stuff, like, I don't know, Tooth Simulator? I don't know, is that a real thing? Probably not. Dentist Simulator. But there's so many weird things, like, Nudist Beach Simulator? Yeah, it's Nudist Beach Simulator, that's just weird. There is Computer Builder Simulator, where you build computers. That sounds quite interesting, actually. But, simulators these days, there seems to be everything. There's some things which you really would not want to simulate. I don't know why these companies decide to make these games, but yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to just think of something off the top of your head and think, would there be a simulator game for that? There likely would be. Unless it is just incredibly weird. And it would have to be super weird, because there are some really weird simulators. Still, if you enjoy those kind of things, then yeah, fair enough. I suppose they're probably not what they sound like. It's probably a twist on the name of the simulator itself. Still, what we're going to do here is finish off this mowing, and it's going to bring it to, I would say, about 5:30ish, which would leave us time to do something else. The problem is we can't really ted this because it's still drying off. It needs to have a day drying at least. Then it needs to dry on the other side, then it needs to be rowed up and baled. So yeah, we'll probably just give the sheep some water, sell the bales which are in the yard there. I'm sure we can find something until 8 o'clock. It's got to be a full day though, I did promise. So yeah, I've got to do loads of stuff today. I don't know how many of you watch Stocko Laws. Probably the first time I've ever mentioned him actually, but he was going way before I was as a YouTuber. I think he recently returned, but I don't know if he's gone again. He does tend to come and go. I'm not sure why. I'm not in no position to say anyway, but some of his videos are quite interesting if you want to go and watch them as well. So yeah, just wondering. It just came to my head, like, where's Stocker Dwarves gone again? Maybe he is still putting videos on. I'm not actually. I don't think I'm subscribed to him, which is weird because I was. But YouTube went through this phase of automatically unsubscribing people to various channels. I've had people send me emails saying it's really weird. I keep emailing. I keep subscribing to you, but then it keeps unsubscribing me. I've had people send these emails all the time. So yeah, I don't know why YouTube does that. It's weird. But I was subscribed, but weird. He seems to have disappeared off my subscription list. Unless, of course, there is the possibility that I have just accidentally clicked unsubscribe by accident. But I'm pretty sure it does actually say, "Are you sure you want to do this?" So weird. Very, very weird. Still, we are finished here. Bit of a messy finish. Let me just neaten it up for you. There we go. Right. Shuttle these down. Fold them up. And we're going to have to put this in the yard here. What we'll probably have to do is get into the transit van and drive that back over to the other farm. I suppose the transit van could tow this trailer here. It would be a bit ridiculous. Would it? I don't know. Yeah, it probably would tow that actually. But I don't really want to, just because of the realistic aspects. Oh, and it has no tow bar. How weird. Anyway, not to worry. There is some wool just here. How are they doing, by the way? How are they doing? Oh, wow, that is not good. Water is fine, but grass we're going to have to do straight away. We can't even put that off. Do we have anything in the forage wagon just over here? Where did I put it? Where is it? No. Where have I put the forage wagon? Pretty sure I know where it is. We're using it to move the chaff from field number 30. I think it's 30. Yep. So it should be next to the fermented silage pit, which we'll probably be doing in the next episode of the West Coast. I think we should just sell it because there is so much potential money there. We'll load it up into a trailer and take it to the BGA, which is currently at Riverton. Well, it's staying at Riverton on Sea. It is at Riverton on Sea. But yeah, I obviously had this issue with the wrapped bales. I couldn't get them into the hopper because there's like a mesh over the top. But as we've found the bale sell point now, we can just take it to there. As long as we get some money, I will save the game before we sell them, because I put one in the sheep's feeding trough and it didn't actually give us any money for it, and it could be because it wasn't fermented. Oh, scammer in front, crash for cash. Good job we've got our wits about us. Come on, I'm going to overtake you, fool. And here we are back at the main farm. So I've got a plan. I've just been thinking about the best way of doing this. What we're going to do is take the new Holland Tractor over to Mountain View Farm, attach it to the forage wagon, and then bring it all back that way. So we'll go and jump in the new Holland. It should be over here in the workshop. The tyre marks give it away. Okay. So I think we'll just drop the trailer off here, and then we'll have a nice drive over there. Going cab view for this part. Yeah, so again, this is the top area of the map, so I'm very familiar with it. Pretty much. Very simple instructions on how to get here. Turn right at the bottom of here, turn right again, continue on the road, and you'll definitely get to the farm. That I can say with confidence. Right, so we've hit 8 o'clock. It should have been at times 15, it was at times 30. But we've put it at times 5 now, so it'll be fine. I really just need to leave it at 15, but the problem is, it's on my keyboard, the key binding obviously, and I think it's 7 and 8 to increase and decrease the rate of time. And I always seemed to press one of them by accident when opening the map up. So yeah, it's not always easy to maintain the times 15, but we can level it off alright, which slow down time or increase time depending on which button I've accidentally pressed. If these bales are now fermented, then obviously we can get a really healthy sum of money for them, but without them being fermented it's not even worth selling them, because it changes the price so much. Massive change in price. 26.6 miles per hour is the maximum speed we can gain with this. 26.7 maybe. Yeah, it sort of fluctuates to 7 if you turn the wheel. Still, you can tell we're climbing because it's much more grassy, much less arable. And then if you go too high, there won't even be any trees. Right, so did we leave? Yeah, we did. We left it over here. And that should, yep, it's obviously still got the cover over it, but if we wanted to we could uncover it. But we won't do until we actually need it. Otherwise it could go a bit slimy. Right, so back down to the sheep farm and I will see you down there. That's quite interesting. The turning just back there, the junction, is directly opposite Little Woolhope farm, and that goes straight up to Mountain View farm. So really, although it can, at least to begin with, feel quite hard to keep track of where all the different farms are, I think when you get used to it, obviously I'm still learning, as you've seen, it shouldn't be too hard. It should be pretty easy to remember where each one is, even to the exact name. Not just the red farm or the blue farm, although that could be easier I suppose. All I know is the main two farms for us are blue and yellow. So, yep, just up here. Basically, I think all we should do now is just pick up some grass and give it to the sheep just to make sure they stay alive through the night. I really am sort of just holding off the idea of selling the silage bales. Not because I don't want to, I certainly do. It's just, if I do go and take them over there and they're still just sort of recognised as grass and not silage, then it's going to be, what, £200 a bale instead of potentially a few thousand, maybe 1,000. So, yeah, obviously people have said down below 2 days is how long it takes to ferment, so it's not been 2 days, so it would seem a bit stupid to go and do it. But tomorrow, in game time, we could do it. This is obviously going to be very rough, just because it's not even rode up. And we don't even need much at all, just enough to feed the sheep, and as we don't have many sheep at all, I would have thought in the region of 2,000 litres will suffice, but I get just slightly more just to make sure. So yeah, I think, yeah, we should go up to the top and come back down again. That'll be plenty. Now, one thing which has just struck me is every night there will be decomposition on anything you've got lying about. So if I'm not mistaken, the grass we have just cut is going to decompose by 50%, and that would pretty much wipe it out. But I'm not really too sure on how you're supposed to get around that, because if we were to TED it, then surely... I suppose, yeah, if you were to TED it, it would stop it from doing it. But then that's breaking away from realism, because you wouldn't swath it or turn it over now straight away. We've only just cut it, so yeah, that's quite a tough situation to be in. I'm not really sure on the best way of doing it. I suppose we just have to be unrealistic to make it work. But we'll see how we go. We'll see what it's like in the next episode. Now, how much are we going to take? Yeah, not much at all. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. 20 to 9. So, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Obviously, back to farming again. We'll do a few more mining videos at some point. But until then, see you again soon. Bye for now.